Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I saw a green moon and a red Mars in the sky forming Christmas colors, which sent a strange signal in a very spooky October. As your Planetary Defense Commander, it is my job to sound like a broken record and remind you that right now is not a good time to have large social gatherings. And now's not a good time to be protesting. Ain't nobody listening, man. At the moment, everybody's got their own problems, issues to deal with. And so I think we should work on the civilization, stabilization, way more than the protesting, because we're going to have to try and work together to make it through this month, because these are crazy days indeed, my friend. And no matter how you want to put it, the truth is that the coronavirus is a very disruptive event that has been happening all year, and no country has really come up with a good way to deal with it, and the countries combined don't really have a solid plan. So we are in uncharted territory in the modern age. And on top of all that, we got atmospheric dragons in the sky. It is that part of the year, the interior Eris Earth alignment conjunction, to where you can almost count like clockwork the fact that we're going to get some major giant storm around the 17th of October, which is when Eris will be conjunct with Earth. So we are now watching the 2-week lead up to and the 2-week build down from the Eris alignment. And it is always something else. And so we're looking at this major, massive atmospheric river dragon, Quetzalcoatl storm, and it's got a bunch of little flying space birds in the water headed west towards the Gulf of Mexico. And the point I'm trying to make here is, on top of all that, we have Jupiter, Saturn about to conjunct on December 21st, along with Pluto. And I think we are seeing Jupiter and Saturn's pressure patterns repeat themselves in our atmosphere in the form of storms. And so we are absolutely on full red alert, and for the rest of the month. And so we are watching this Orion low belt pattern with one low there, one low there, and one low here. Now, the thing we are watching now is the models take what would be known as gamma and take it down into Mexico. So Mexico, please be on alert. Roja alerte. Did I say that? Roja alerte. Okay. And so for now, this has it taking it to the south, and then it has a secondary low following after. And so what I'm getting at here is we have our 2 low pattern here, and then here comes a secondary low almost on top of the other, and some type of binary Fujiwhara effect. And we have seen hurricanes and tropical storms cross paths multiple times across here and over in Asia over the year. And so we're definitely looking for 2 big low storms around the same time in the next 2 weeks. And so intensity will be a factor that needs to be watched. And then location, models are taking what would end up being delta for now, north towards Louisiana. And so we're watching a lot of pressure action seem to happen around here, especially with the volcanoes in Mexico and Guatemala. And so we're, on earthquake and volcano alert. There's a lot happening and will continue to happen atmospherically over the next month. And so in Los Angeles, I'm just wondering if you got wildfires to deal with, earthquakes to deal with. I don't think now is the time to protest, and you got a plague to deal with. And so I've been stressing all year the need to play excellent defense in October, and especially with large gatherings. England's dashboard data collection and reporting system broke for like 8 days, I think. I'm pretty flabbergasted. 8 days of COVID case numbers were being underreported due to a technical issue, which has now been resolved. Even though it's resolved, no clarity about the shortfall. When they are now, the numbers are coming back in very strong and very big, and this is still happening in every country in the world, almost, except places like Vietnam or other places who have dealt with it well as a down city state. So things are crazy. And we're now about to get our next wave of hurricanes and big storms. So I highly recommend everybody stay cool. But I know that all the elements are against us to cooperate and work together as a team. Multiple models are suggesting that Hurricane Delta, which would be the second one in that binary system, could get to Category 2, Category 3. But how strong it gets and where it goes, nobody knows. But we're talking 120 hours out. We may have our next landfalling hurricane. And this is definitely one of those periods where the atmosphere itself just looks incredibly mythological. And so buckle up. It is going to get weirder. We are in for a very wild ride. And we're all under some planetary pressure now, pretty much from all the planets. And everything around us, you know what I'm saying? Some days I'm better at danger risk assessment communication than others. Okay, great. But yeah, we got our giant Quetzalcoatl atmospheric river storm that goes from Mexico all the way to England. It's back. And then you got that one rolling off of Africa as well. And I'm definitely watching out for more type of volcano, hurricane, earthquake action. Be ready for anything. It's 2020. And this is the Era storm around the 14th. And so you can see here it's 993 millibars of pressure, which would make it Category 1 land hurricane. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing get stronger as time approaches. As we know, we get a major wind event around this period. When the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, people get kind of crazy. And the sun has been strangely spotless for quite a while. We are in a very deep solar minimum. So it's a matter of when will the sun wake up again? And because empires seem to rise during solar maximums and fall during solar minimums. And so when will the sun rise again? Tomorrow. And, you know, literally, but metaphorically, hopefully soon. This photo is of Mars by Keith Johnson, Durham, England. And man, Mars is a very interesting planet. And they say it represents war. And definitely, since we have hyper-focused on it since the year 2000, humanity's kind of been at war with itself. So I'm always like, we should definitely stop fighting and build a new power grid and make sure everybody stays fed in a pandemic, keep the lights on, clean the water, stay cool, and make it through this together. But there are major communication issues happening across all Earth things right now. So hang in there. Definitely say your prayers and think positive thoughts if you can. But definitely hang in there, because there are going to be a whole lot more challenges and obstacles along the way as we have a spooky October advent calendar of October surprises. But I'm definitely not giving up hope, although shit is pretty off the rails. So get ready for more miracles and divine intervention. The universe has been pretty good to us so far, and we keep on moving forward, baby step by baby step, as a civilization. So that's exciting. So have a great night. We're definitely on the clock watching whatever Gamma Delta can I help you is going to do. And we're watching out for the Era storm. Because it appears whatever is going to be happening in the Gulf of Mexico up the East Coast over the next week is definitely going to be fascinating. What exactly it is, I don't know. But it kind of creates like a weird whirlpool effect, as there may or may not be Fujiwhara affecting. But that would be a pretty big storm, a whole lot of rain. And it is teleconnected to that much bigger storm that likes to hang out and fly over Canada from time to time on a pretty regular basis. And it's weird that, we named the Mars moons Phobos and Diamos, fear and terror. Like, so I just gotta look up and say, hey, there's Mars and its moons, fear and terror. Like, I could do without, I could do with less fear and terror. But yeah, so in the 17th Earth, there's Eris and there's us, and then in like 10 days, we will go between this weird energy, and that somehow usually causes some type of a pretty major windstorm on Earth, with maybe a hurricane or not. But we will definitely be on the lookout for major hurricanes in the Gulf over the next week. It is always possible during October.